Our next guest, someone special, says he's met with leaders around the world and they want to buy our country's energy products, in particular, liquefied natural gas. Here is the Secretary of Energy, Rick Perry. Mr. Secretary, welcome to the program.
Be with you. Thanks, sir.
What's this I hear about you're sending a ship of liquefied natural gas to India?
Yeah, I got there 2 weeks ago, actually.
Oh,
so,
we did?
Yeah, we've... LNG, you recall, what, 5-6 years ago, we were having all of these import facilities being built along the Gulf Coast. Over the last 5 years or so, those have been turned around. Now they're export facilities. And because of the great shale revolution, American LNG is now absolutely changing the geopolitical position in the world of the United States when it comes to energy.
You use up Russia's position.
Indeed.
In supplying Europe and
Every
elsewhere.
molecule of American gas that goes into Europe is a molecule that they don't have to take from Russia and be held hostage by them.
Why are you smiling so much?
I love that competition. The idea that the United States, 10 years ago, there were people giving a good speech, making some nice money on peak oil, and now, because of American innovation, American technology, we are now in the driver's seat when it comes to energy in the world. And so when we're talking to people like India, when we're talking to our European counterparts, Poland, the Baltic states, they were in Washington last week, the Baltics, those are people who truly understand what has happened in the energy space and that the United States is their friend, and we will be there for them day in and day out, delivering energy and we're delivering freedom around the world, not just gas.
Can you increase the supply of LNG
Indeed.
that's going out of America?
Indeed, we can. And I think that's one of the things that these are long-term contracts, 20 to 30-year contracts. So there's a lot of really great opportunities out there. And it's a U.S. technology on the coal side. I mean, the idea that somehow or another, coal is not going to be in the mix, it is. In 2040, 77% of the power generated in the world will still come from fossil fuels. We need to do it wisely. We need to do it efficiently. We need to do it as cleanly as we can. And it will be American technology that leads that.
That's fracking, isn't it? And horizontal drilling.
Fracking, horizontal drilling completely changed the dynamic out there in the world from the standpoint in the United States and various places in the United States, and some that we don't even know about. When you think about what's happened in the Appalachian region, the Marcellus, the Utica Shale plays there, the opportunities are fabulous. But there's some...
I have property in New York State. I'm sitting on top of the Marcellus Shale.
Well,
I'm not allowed to frack.
Yeah, that's a whole other story. Well, here's the issue. Not only the idea that you can't produce that natural resource in states like New York, but you can't even transit it with gas. That puts those citizens and citizens on the other side of that line, if you will, in jeopardy economically. We get another polar vortex in that has the potential to shut down those power plants because they cannot get the energy. At that particular point in time, elected officials are going to have some hard answers because people will be having to make the decision about, do I keep warm or do I turn the lights on?
Well said, sir. One last one. You're spending $1.8 billion on supercomputers for the Energy Department.
Yeah, 5 of the 10 fastest supercomputers in the world belong to the Department of Energy. We've used them in a host of different things. Obviously, being able to model nuclear tests rather than doing underground testing is one of those, but also in things like healthcare. Massive amounts of data that used to take literally months, weeks, and even years to come up with the answers to problems that were laid out. These analytics and this computing capacity that we have now is going to be able to allow us to address issues like post-traumatic stress, traumatic brain injury, and our veterans. I mean, some powerful answers to issues and questions that have vexed us for a long time because of these DOE-operated computers.
You know, you look like a man who's having a really good time. In fact, you look like a man who's having more fun than any other cabinet minister at this moment.
Yeah. It is an interesting place to work. I'm so glad I'm glad that the president...
You want to repeat interesting?
Well, it is. At the DOE, notwithstanding
is it fun?
Just the political world that we live in is a really interesting time. I don't know if it gets into the fun category, but it's not the best job I ever had. That was governor of Texas, but the most interesting job I ever had Secretary of Energy. I'm so glad the President asked me, and I'm glad I said yes.
Mr. Secretary, Governor, thank you very much
You're
for being
welcome.
with us
Thank you,
this morning.
Stuart.
We're obliged to you. Thanks.
And indeed.
All right.